All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something pretty wild. We're looking at this incredible claim that connects a huge, real scientific event, one that just happened, with a spiritual prediction from 150 years ago. So the big question is, could there be a hidden message in the cosmos waiting for us?
Okay, so let's get right into it. This whole thing kicks off with a hard scientific fact. Back in May of 2024, our planet was treated to these absolutely spectacular auroras. I mean, they were everywhere. And it was all because of a solar storm, a really, really powerful one. In fact, it was the strongest one we'd seen in over 2 decades. Just a massive event. But here's where the story we're exploring today takes a sharp turn. It asks this really fascinating question. What if all those beautiful lights in the sky weren't just a random fluke of physics? What if that incredible blast of solar energy was, well, something more? Maybe a signal, and one that was predicted a long, long time ago? Okay, so before we can really dig into the prophecy part of this, we've got to get the science down first. So let's do a quick breakdown of what a solar storm actually is.
So what are we talking about here? Well, you can think of them as these giant, violent eruptions on the sun's surface. They just blast out these massive waves of electromagnetic radiation. And these things, these solar flares, they are no joke. They're powerful enough to mess with our communications, knock out satellites, and even take down power grids here on Earth.
And what's in these bursts? What are they made of? Well, at their very core, it's photons, tiny particles of light that travel at, you guessed it, the speed of light. Now, the source material makes a really big deal out of this, pointing out that these little particles carry so much energy they can literally change our planet's atmosphere. Now, you're going to want to remember that word, photons. It's super important for where we're going next. Okay, so now we make the jump. We're pivoting away from the hard science and into a really deep spiritual interpretation. Because the speaker in our source material argues that this exact event, this massive flood of photons hitting the Earth, was predicted with what they call stunning accuracy 150 years ago. And it was predicted by a revered Tamil saint named Vallalar.
So you're probably asking, how on earth do we get from some old prophecy to the year 2024? Well, the whole thing hangs on this one specific calculation. Here's the story. Back in 1874, Vallalar apparently said he would return in 2.5 Kadige. Now, normally, a Kadige is just a unit of time, like 24 minutes. But, and this is the absolute key to the whole theory, the speaker argues Vallalar wasn't being literal. He was using it symbolically. In this spiritual context, they say 1 Kadige actually means 60 years. So you do the math, 2.5 of those is 150 years, you add 150 years to 1874, and boom, you land smack dab in 2024. All right, let's get to the absolute core of this claim, because this is where it all comes together. See, this isn't just about a prediction coming true, like predicting the weather. No, the speaker is arguing something much bigger, that the scientific event is the spiritual event. They're not two separate things. They are one and the same. And this is really the heart of it all. It's a total reframing of science, seeing it as spirituality. Remember those photons we talked about? Well, according to this argument, they're not just boring old particles of light from a solar storm. No way. In this view, they are God's particles. They're the divine light, the actual spiritual energy of Vallalar himself, returning to Earth. So, why? What's the point of all this energy showing up? Well, the source claims its purpose is incredibly profound. It's not here to destroy anything. It's actually meant to be an evolutionary force. Think of it like a catalyst, something designed to trigger a massive global spiritual awakening, to literally elevate human consciousness. And the speaker is really clear on this point. This isn't about just having blind faith. It's about looking for patterns. It's about connecting the dots, between science and history and spirituality to see if there's a bigger picture, a deeper truth hiding in plain sight. Okay, so let's say you're on board with this idea. This divine energy is washing over the planet. So what now? What are we supposed to do about it? How does a regular person actually harness it? Well, the source material lays out a really clear 3-step path.
The whole thing rests on what they call 3 pillars. And it's actually pretty practical. So pillar number 1 is service, or sevai. The basic idea is, if you want to receive this divine energy, you have to start by giving your own energy to others. Makes sense? Pillar 2 is discipline, or ojukam. This is seen as the foundation, the framework you need to build any real wisdom. And finally, the 3rd pillar is compassion, or karunai. This is the ultimate goal because in this view, the divine itself is pure compassion.
And I gotta tell you, the source puts a huge emphasis on that 2nd pillar, on discipline and character. It argues that this is more valuable than money, fame, anything. The claim is that without that strong moral foundation, any spiritual progress is just impossible. It's like trying to carry water in your hands. Discipline is the container that holds it all.
And to kind of zoom out a bit, the speaker connects this whole path to what they see as a universal truth that runs through all the major religions. You know, this core idea that selfless giving, that service isn't just a nice thing to do, it's like a cosmic law. What you put out into the universe, well, that's what comes back to you, but even bigger.
And this all leads up to the final part of the message, and fair warning, it's a pretty urgent one. The speaker claims that now that this energy is here, all of humanity, we're all facing a massive critical choice.
Yeah, there's actually a ticking clock involved. A really key part of this message is a specific timeline. The speaker claims we have a limited window of opportunity here, about 10 months, starting in early 2025, to consciously engage with this energy. So yeah, that definitely creates a sense of cosmic urgency.
So what's the choice exactly? Well, the speaker puts it like this. Imagine this energy is like rain. It's falling everywhere on everyone, totally available. The real question is, are you prepared to catch it? It's not about some big judgment from the sky. It's more like a cosmic sorting process, based on your own readiness, your own actions. The idea is, those who are ready will kind of level up, they'll be elevated. And those who aren't, they're not punished, they just have to wait for the next cycle to come around.
Okay, so we've gone through a lot here, right? We've talked prophecies, physics, spiritual paths. It's a lot to take in. You might be wondering, what's the one thing I really need to remember? Well, the speaker actually boils this entire complex idea down to one single, simple action.
And here it is. This is the final and maybe most powerful takeaway. Forget all the complicated timelines, forget trying to understand the physics. The speaker claims the ultimate master key, the thing that unlocks all of this spiritual potential, is just to practice universal love. That's it. That one single act is the key that opens every other door. A beautifully simple instruction for what's being described as a truly transformative moment for all of us.